Joining me right now on Kumite TV is UFC heavyweight prospect Jeff Hughes. What's going on, Jeff?
Nothing, just relaxing. Just got done with a run, shower, and time to chill.
Is cardio a big part of your training camps?
Yeah, big time. Um, I feel like a heavyweight that can go all 3 rounds or 5 rounds, like I have in the past, has an advantage on everybody.
Now, what is, are you just running or do you do other things on top of that?
Um, yeah, it's whatever my coaches have me do, but I do all my running on my own. I try to get 3 to 4 miles a day. Um, but yeah, so sometimes I'll run after practice or before practice, try to get at least 3, 4 miles a day.
Wow, that's impressive, man, that you're running that much. It's like a marathon runner or something.
Yeah, I try. I mean, I once I hit that 3 mile mark, I'm done though.
A lot of guys they don't really enjoy the running aspect. Is this something that you gotten used to?
Yeah, I started really getting into it about 10 years ago. It's kind of like how a lot of people meditate or whatever. That's how I like meditate. I put the headphones on and I'm in my own world like for 30, 40 minutes. So it's great.
At 31 years old, you're one of the young bucks in the division.
Yeah.
And many say, it's funny to say that, but it is true.
Yeah.
Many say that the heavyweight division is the most stacked ever, especially with guys like you coming up right now. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, this is the best. I think this is the best every single weight class has been. I think this is the most evolved the sport has ever been. It's such an exciting time to be in the sport, and yeah, I think as a heavyweight division keeps getting better, the more money we're going to start making because people love seeing big heavyweights fight. So I just happen to be a heavyweight, so it works out for me.
But the downside of that is that the path to the title is longer now. Like you have to take, more fights, right? Which do
Right.
you feel that that's better for fighters to be able to get that experience before jumping into a big title fight?
Yeah, yeah. I think it all starts with a long amateur career, and I know a lot of people don't have a long amateur career, and I had a long amateur career, and I had I think 10 fights before I even got in the UFC as a professional. So I feel like I have the experience on some of these guys, and um, you know, yeah, the ultimate goal is to win the belt, but I got to fight and I got to impress people. So, I would fight every other weekend if they let me. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, after your amateur career, you had an impressive run, got the LFA title. Then you went on the Contender Series, had an impressive performance there. But then there was that 8 months, before your UFC debut. Was that a frustrating time for you, playing the waiting game?
it was the most frustrating time of my entire career, hands down. I'm sitting on my phone every day waiting for news, anything, and nothing. I mean, I couldn't get on a card to save my life. Um, but my manager, he does a good job, and he picked the right time, and um, you know, and I just had to wait it out.
You waited it out, you got an opponent, but then your opponent changed. You faced the guy that you already beat. In the end, the judges decided on a split decision. Looking back at that fight or at that night, what is your assessment of what happened?
Um, I can say that I think I won the fight because I think I did, but I think anybody that goes to split decision and loses probably thinks they won. Um, I took from it that don't leave it up to the judges. Go out there and fight my own fight, and I don't know, like I didn't let it bother me too bad. I hate losing more than anything, but I took it as a experience to get better.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of guys they will lose their first fight in the UFC and kind of hold on to that, and it kind of destroys their career. It's good that you can just like brush it off and then move on, and you have a big name, which also helps, right, in your next fight.
Oh yeah, yeah, it really does. No, it motivates me. I don't want to be. I think a lot of people are already thinking he's won this fight just because he's a big popular guy 5 years ago. So I like proving people wrong. Everything I do, I love proving people wrong.
After that fight, your last fight, did you get back right into the gym? Did you have some, bumps and bruises that you had to get over?
Yeah, my last fight that second round, I broke my hand, my right hand, and that put me on the shelf for about 2 months. It can't remember what they call it. It's like it's almost like a boxing fracture, but it was with my first knuckle. So that doesn't happen very often. The doctors were telling me, so it kind of bothered me for a good 2 months. Um, but it was a nice 2 months off, and I still stayed in the gym and did some cardio and ran and all that. Like I didn't want to get out of shape. So, but yeah. And then I probably started sparring a little bit before I was supposed to, but I had to get back in there and do it.
Yeah, definitely. On top of helping your teammates, did you work on anything on the side, during that time?
Um, Not really. My jab's the best it's ever been, and I think it has a lot to do with the fact that I couldn't use my right hand for so long. I worked a lot of jabs on the bag and with my coaches holding pads. My coach Steve, man. Oh, sorry, my coach Steve. He's very patient man. He sat there. He's like, anytime you want me to hold pads for you, I'm your guy. So it worked out well.
We talked about the big name. His name is Todd Duffee, and you're gonna fight him at UFC Vancouver. Were you surprised since 5 years ago that's the last time he fought, or actually 4 years ago?
No. I saw when I went out to the PI, I saw him out there training, and quick story. I was out there with my teammate, and somebody came over and was like, "Hey, you guys know you're fighting him, right?" And he's like over there training. I'm like, I have no idea what you're talking about. And then 2 days later, they offered me the fight. So I was like, oh, okay. So I understood why he was a little pissed off I was there, but I had no idea. I really did. I had no idea I was supposed to fight him.
That's weird how someone knew but you didn't know.
Right. Yeah, I'm always the last to find out about everything though, so I'm used to it.
Did you watch Todd fight when he was in the UFC? His last run in the UFC. Were you a person that would watch him and enjoy his fights?
Oh yeah, I have been in the UFC and MMA as a whole. Like I used to watch Pride in high school. Um, yeah, I remember him coming up. He was like 24, 25 and just wrecking people. He had, that really quick knockout, and he was a big name there for a minute, and then he just kind of went away. So, I'm sure he wants to prove to everybody he still has it, but I'm here to prove that he doesn't. So that's just how it goes.
I think his last fight against Frank Mir was before you made your pro debut. Am I right?
I think so. Yeah,
That is,
it might have been like the same time,
yeah,
around the same time.
yeah. That is very unusual, to be in that situation for yourself, is fighting a guy that last fought before you turned pro.
Yeah, it was a little strange that he's still. I don't know. Maybe the UFC obviously sees something in him, or they wouldn't keep him around for
Yeah.
3.5 years, 4 years, or whatever it's been. So, um, hopefully, I can prove them wrong too.
Your camp, your team has been busy for the last few months. You had a teammate go to the Contender Series and phenomenal flying knee, knockout that he like just came out of nowhere. And then you got Stipe getting ready for UFC 241 to get his title back. Now, and then you're getting ready for your fight. How has it been, being involved in all these camps? Has it been like an extended camp for you?
Yeah, that's exactly what it's been like. Pretty much in my second fight camp right now. Stipe's done with his camp, and guess who was the person training with him? It was me. So I was trying to do everything he was doing. So really, I went into my camp the best shape I could have possibly been in. So it's been I'm really happy it worked out this way instead of me going into a camp out of shape or not in the best shape I could be in.
Throughout this camp, has Stipe been different? Have you noticed a difference in him?
Yeah. He's definitely more focused, and he was always. I'm not saying he wasn't focused before, but he's very. Let's get training. Let's get it done. Let's go home. He's been very smart about everything he's doing. We've been getting in and getting out. It's been great. I think he's at. I've been around him for like 2.5 years or something, and this is the best he's ever been. I didn't think he could get any better, but he did. So I would really hate to be DC on this Saturday.
Now, you've been a father for a while, and I think he recently became a father. Has the roles reversed for you now? Because, I know you've been looking up to him, as a fighter, but now does he kind of come to you for like father advice?
Yeah, it's funny 'cause, like he'll say his daughter's doing something. I'll be like, oh yeah, I remember when my daughter was doing that. He's like, and I was just like, we just kind of talk about it a little bit, and um, man, he's just like I am. He loves his daughter more than anything else in this world, and little things that wouldn't matter to you or somebody else when your kid does it, it's like the greatest thing in the world. You know what I mean? So it's really fun to see him get to experience what I got to experience in that aspect.
Him being, so focused and determined in during this camp, what is the impact on you for your camp, basically?
Um, I've said it, and before. I try to mimic him because he's, in my opinion, is the greatest of all time. And what better person to try to mimic? So him being so focused has almost brought out the best in me. Um, you know, I've done the majority of the sparring rounds with him, majority of the wrestling rounds, majority of the I mean, every day we've been training hard, and even conditioning. Like he comes second to none to in conditioning. Like he will out condition the little guys. So I try to keep pace with him, and it's actually really good for me. So I don't know. He is one of the best teammates you could possibly have.
Yeah, he seems like, everybody knows him, his personality and everything, and he's a straight shooter. So, and
Yeah.
but he likes to joke around at the same time, especially when you see those videos of him, crank calling his wife from his car, which is hilarious.
My God. His
Does he do
poor
that to
wife.
you?
No, 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 no. He doesn't. He doesn't really mess around with me too much. But I've seen him, the way he acts with some of the younger guys. He's not like bullying them, but he's just so funny. Like he'll walk in the middle of a mat and just say, "It's all about me today, guys. You can go home." And everybody just like kind of stares at him, but like I know he's joking, so like I'm laughing on the side, and everybody else is like wondering what's going on. And then he'll like tell everybody he's messing with them and all that.
Yeah, that's a great personality to have, in the gym. Now, going back to your fight, you got a guy that hasn't fought in 4 years. Is it difficult to prepare for someone like that, where his last fight, you can't really look at the video because he's been gone?
He's been gone for so long. I don't know. To be 100% honest with you, we don't really train for anybody.
Mm-hmm.
We, especially me, this is the way I am, because I feel like game plans are only good for some. Once a fight happens, the game plan can get thrown out the window. So we go in with certain things that we think could work, and we try to train on those. But for the most part, if I fight my fight, I'm a hard guy to beat for anybody. So my goal is to go in there and fight my own fight, not worry about what he's doing so much. We know he has a big power. I think a lot of people at this weight have that kind of power. So something I'm not used to.
All right, well, with Todd, I'm pretty sure you're focused on him, but do you see, you fighting one more time this year? Is that the plan?
Yeah, definitely. Like I told you earlier, I would fight every other weekend if they let me. I love it that much. It's just crazy that we get paid to do it, really. Yeah, I'd like to fight, especially if this one goes really well, no injuries. I come out on top. There's no reason I couldn't get ready to fight by November, December. So it'd be nice to fight right before Christmas too, so my daughter gets some nice gifts.
And you could, enjoy the food, right? That's number one right there.
That's the most.
Yeah. All right, man. September 14th, USC on ESPN Plus 16, Vancouver, Canada. Thank you, Jeff, so much for the time, and good luck on the fight and your future.
I appreciate it. Thank you.